includes a clever excuse to spend a week in Amsterdam. Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. In the late 70s and early 80s, there were multiple occasions where Doctor Who filmed across the channel over in the European mainland. And in most of those cases, there was a compelling reason for the story why it was set where it was. City of Death, for example, is all about Paris. The story could not exist without Paris and the Mona Lisa and that whole environment. What makes Arc of Infinity so different is that it's set in Amsterdam, or at least major parts of it. The majority of the story happens on Gallifrey, but there's the entire parallel story happening in Amsterdam with Tegan and her nephew, and then the climax of the story winds up there, of course. And fully the last 5 minutes of Part 4 has the Doctor and Tegan and Nyssa chasing Omega. Spoiler, the story has the return of Omega, throughout the streets of Amsterdam in an extended cat-and-mouse chase. And it's visually interesting, and it's great that they filmed there, but again, there is really nothing particular about the story that makes it have to belong in Amsterdam. And originally it was written to take place in London. So why did it change? As near as anyone can figure, John Nathan Turner wanted a trip to Amsterdam, and it was that simple. It really was that basic. And hey, good for him. I'm all for scoring work trips to exotic places. Although I don't know if Amsterdam is exactly exotic if you're from London. But in any case, it's a strange choice that works well. And certainly it's a lot of fun to see the scenery of early 80s Amsterdam and the canals and the pumping stations and all of that. So cool on them. Of course, the big revelation in the story is the return of Omega, the main villain from the 10th anniversary special, The Three Doctors. And bringing him back now, just a year before the 20th anniversary, kind of takes him off the table as being the villain for the 20th anniversary special, which I think was pretty clever. It was a surprising move, and unlike the Master's multiple reveals of being a character in disguise, the mystery of who the Renegade is really works well for most of the story. There's certainly at least some hint that it could be the Master, which would have been very tired and overdone, and I'm glad it wasn't, because when it's revealed, it's actually Omega trying to cross over from antimatter into our regular matter universe. It's a great reveal and a great surprise, so bravo to the show. This is a great season opener and kicks off a very strong season. I'm very excited to be here. I'm particularly fond of the Fifth Doctor era in general. Again, we're situated with the TARDIS crew of the Doctor, Tegan, and Nyssa, which is a great combination. We'll get some change up by the end of the season, including my favorite companion who wasn't a companion, but it'll be a couple of weeks before we get there. In any case, that's it for today. Tomorrow is the return of the Mara in Snake Dance, and I am totally down for that. I'll see you then.